So, we've been on a creative journey today. We've seen how members of our design community are designing differently. So staying on theme, we couldn't possibly talk about designing differently without bringing our friends from I Love Creative Studio onto the stage. For over a decade, I Love Creatives has built a reputation for not only design, but for community that emphasizes creative skills and skill sharing and, above all, good vibes. Please welcome Mindy, Nguyen, and Puno.
Oh my God.
Hello.
Last session, you guys.
Last session!
Yeah.
Before.
We're going to start beatboxing right
I know.
now.
And Boots and Cats. Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
How
how's
are we
everyone
doing?
Last one.
No pressure. No. Hi, we are, it's clicker. You might be like, who are you? That sounds
Who
cool.
are these people?
I love creatives as well. Yes, so we are, I'm Puno.
Yes, I'm Mindy.
Yeah. I'm the executive creative director at I Love Creative Studio.
I'm the creative director.
And I Love Creative Studio is an agency. We've done a lot of work like this. We are a full service agency at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Doing all of the above, brand identity, web design on Squarespace, digital marketing, creative direction, a lot of photo and video campaign stuff, packaging, and then 3D and motion.
Yes.
Like
yes.
some motion that you just saw.
Yes. Yeah. Moving things. And yeah, but origin story, let's go. A long, long time ago in a galaxy, like Los Angeles, basically, I had a Squarespace design course.
Yes.
And I feel like there's some people who took that course.
Yes.
It's really cool seeing you guys. Thank you. I did this in 2018. I just was like, I need a Squarespace designer. I was bootstrapping my business with Squarespace exclusively. And I truly needed to find someone to work with. And so I couldn't find that. Like, everybody knew how to make a template, basically. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a course so that I can find more designers to help me make websites. And lo and behold, my first graduate, Zippy was also in there too, but my first graduate was Mindy. And I was like, who are you, girl?
Yes.
You're so cute.
Oh, thank you.
And I was just like, this is awesome. And at the same time, I'm building ilovecreatives.com, which is an online education website. So I was feeling like, am I gonna keep freelancing? Am I gonna keep... And I was like, I already came from the DDBs, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't really want to build a big agency. I just was like, there's money, there's people coming in, like, should I take this opportunity? So, decided to ask you, will you be my creative director?
Right, because we were doing so many projects together and also involving other Squarespace design students. I was working full-time at a creative studio and wanted to go into freelance, and Puno really jump-started all of that. And then I was a senior designer at the time, but then at this very specific dinner, became a creative director.
Yes.
I
literally was like, I can't do this. Like, I cannot take this work. I'm also like doing creative work already. Like, I love working with you. It's so easy. So she said yes. But we wanted to build a business that aligned with our lifestyle. That was like whatever that was at the time.
Whatever that meant.
Yeah.
In the moment, like going to Disneyland on a Friday because it's my birthday and I want to celebrate and have a good time. And also that meaning, maybe I want to go more into creative direction and like be on shoots and actually like direct, put the whole like shot list together and everything, and like being able to have that space to explore that.
Yes. Yeah. And so we just did not. I was like, girl, I do not want a big agency. I don't. And then this was the question that we had.
Neither did I.
Yeah. Like, no, I don't. But yeah, so this is the question that we kept asking ourselves every year.
Which is, should we grow? Because right now, I think society is, has trained us to always be growing, always be learning. But at the same time, like, there's things that you can do at, the same size that you are and learn new things. And you don't always have to just grow for the sake of growing.
Right. And I love a lifestyle business. Like, I love it. So I think that was when we needed to figure out, like, how are we going to navigate that bigger question? And that question came with a bunch of other questions, like, should we grow? How do we want to grow? Why grow? Does this growth even feel good to us? Do we want butterfly wings? Would we like caterpillar feet? Who knows? Yeah. So
our lifestyle goals.
Yes.
Yes.
So we thought about our lifestyle goals. We talked about it. My lifestyle goals was I really just wanted to ramp up ilovecreatives.com. I'm very passionate about education. I want to edutain. I don't want people to be bored when they're learning. I wanted people to feel confident in themselves, and I actually wanted to pivot away from creative, like I was saying. This was I told her, I was like, I literally have one foot in this business. Like, are you okay with that?
Yeah, and I was like, okay, I can grow another foot and then serve that for the both of us.
You have feet already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then for me, I was working full-time at a design studio, and also had worked at LinkedIn before that, and just kind of wanted to grow and figure out what life could be like going full-time freelance. I really wanted creative freedom. I wanted to be able to work on the projects that really better aligned with my personal interests, and also just work on stuff that continued to just I don't know, drive and challenge culture, push it forward. And then I also wanted flexibility. I wanted to be able to work from anywhere.
Yes.
And be able to travel, be able to do something like this where we're speaking to you all, and still be able to do the dang thing, work.
Still had a client call in the morning, but and the other big thing was I knew I needed to trust you going into it, because I wasn't planning on doing creative, and I wanted to just fully be like, you got this, right? And then we looked at our strengths, and we thought about what is our strengths and how can we have a partnership, because it's basically you're being married. So I knew I loved biz dev. I knew I loved an SOP. I loved ops. I loved setting up a Notion board.
Ooh.
I love fires. I really loved whenever there's a fire. I was like, I can be calm in the moment.
Yes.
I feel
me.
like that's when you can really set culture at your workplace, and I was like, I want to be that person.
Oh my God, there were so many times where I was like, Puno, help me. There's this very difficult client that I don't know how to handle.
Yeah.
I'm sure we've all been there.
Yeah.
And also for me, I kind of just the strengths, being able to just bring branding across the finish line, try to push it as far as we can, lead that, and then also designer network. At the time, I was going to so many networking events around LA and meeting people that I really wanted to collaborate with. And obviously, you guys see Puno. She's easy to trust, and therefore, this was a trusting relationship from the start.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
So we knew what else we didn't want.
Yes. Which is, I didn't want to, drive myself to drink wine and 2 glasses of wine just to take the edge off. Yes, I didn't want to be everything is fine while everything's on fire, and it's not. I also just didn't want demanding clients that are, wanting to get an edit at 12 a.m. on a Friday night. And I also didn't want boring work that paid the bills, just for, that sake. And then, like we were saying, not building a team just for the sake of it.
Oh, yeah.
Because
that
that's
was huge.
what we think success is.
Yeah. So, I don't know if anybody's heard of a lifestyle business, but it's a business that fits around your life and sustains the lifestyle that you want. It's just very ambiguous, but it's just not a startup. So that's what we wanted to build. And then as we were going through this, we were like, okay, what does that mean? How are we going to grow this thing?
Right. And we often found ourselves talking about, okay, we want a little bit more control. We want more creative freedom. We want more time. We want more revenue. And then after a while, we were like, what if we create a little quadrant, a little system? Because
yes,
as
we
you
love a
heard,
framework.
A girl loves her Notion. She loves systems.
So that's when we were like, all right, here are our quadrants. We've got, should we have more time to focus on refining our processes, maybe work a few hours, like hire some key roles for ourselves, role. Yeah, and then there's scaling smart. Yes. Sometimes we wanted a lot more control. We wanted a lot more revenue. We wanted retainers. We were like, you know what? I think we could do a retainer right now. I think I'm ready for that.
Yeah.
We're ready for some high margin work.
Yes. And then doing things like a rebrand for the studio because we had just been in the grind for so long. And then we were like, oh, the brand is not really like identifying with who we are and the work that we've created so far. And then also building the agency, getting more freelancers to work with, having bigger scope work, because we started out as a studio that really primarily only did Squarespace websites and then ended up pushing that to be full brand 360 campaigns, all of that. So yeah.
So what we wanted to do was share our timeline and share what we were thinking about at the time and how we were thinking about growth, because I'm hoping the biggest takeaway of this is that it changed. And that was the point of building a lifestyle business, is that we didn't have a 5-year plan. We literally were like, this year I had a baby. I need to do something else. Like, I can't do this. So anyway.
You can't be answering a client email while you're trying to feed your baby.
Exactly. So we started out in 2018, and this was literally started doing, we did the KKW Beauty website, which is wild, and started working with this company called Mesa, which we did a ton of e-commerce, beauty,
so many
Squarespace websites.
Yes.
But at this point, all we were focused on was build the agency, because at this point, Mindy wasn't working full time. So
I was part-time at the studio that I was at before, and we were just trying to make it work, make ends meet, and be able to sustain myself doing this full time. And then also, is it possible just time-wise so that Puno doesn't have to do the creative, and can I own that / work with other designers to fulfill the need?
Yeah, and I was also like, do I need to do the control of wanting to do creative? Like, am I gonna miss that? It was a very reflective time. And then 2019 came, and we were like, we just needed more money. Like, that's just straight up. We needed Mindy to be full time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we got there. I think 2019 was when I went full time.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, doing this...
We manifested it.
This exercise is very helpful for us to remember,
what happened.
We did the
what
thing.
Has happened.
But yeah, we did a lot of Squarespace websites. We built a lot. I feel like at this point, saying that we were a studio was huge. Like, presenting ourselves as us two versus individuals was really big. So I think that, and then building our portfolio together was even more important. Because we were able to show range in industry, we were able to show range in design, so that a client wouldn't have to look at us and be like, can you do this? So, and then 2020 happened.
Woo, fun.
Yeah.
Chaos.
Yes. She just got triggered by this one. We won't tell you which one, but.
Oh my God. Oh. Okay. Anyways, okay. So why do we want to grow? We need money again. Hello. Just doing custom projects all of the time. I'm sure you guys have felt this. Like, burnout was imminent. We were like, okay, how can we continue to grow, but also maybe explore passive income? How do we get, I don't know, just bigger clients? And that meant submitting our work onto inspo sites. I think that was something that I learned, that I never knew that all you simply had to do was go to, let's say, Typewolf, Maxi Best of,
Internet gems.
Internet, yes. And then, we literally just created an inspo site.
Yeah, it was like, why don't we have an inspo site on?
Feature our work on the site that we made. But yeah, something as simple as that, just putting your work out there and sharing it with the world.
And I think at this point, we were getting a lot of big clients. We were getting a ton of them. But at this point, we really were feeling like we want choice. We want to be able to actually say no to clients. Clearly, I'm building ilovecreatives.com on the side. We're also realizing as our team is growing, we're not finding graphic designers that know how to do brand identity and know how to make a website and know how to do social and email. And so that's when we were like, maybe we need to make a course.
Ooh.
So yeah.
Yes.
So that's
What an idea.
What an idea. Yeah. And then 2021.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So, Girl Boss, we ended up doing their entire rebrand. That was probably the first 360 rebrand that we did, where it was so many things. Not only the brand identity, but applying it to website design. Puno was the host of the podcast. And then we also did so many things like media decks, media kits. And then we ended up, I don't know, from there, I think everything exploded. And we ended up just like kind of like finding ourselves in this like very expressive, punchy world that was so fun, playing with a lot of texture and a lot of like color. As you can see, there's a lot of color here. And so, yeah, why did we want to grow? We wanted to just like create bigger brand identities, like having Girl Boss just like lit a fire under my ass that was like, oh, we got to do more of this. This is awesome. And then, yeah, we made the graphic design course. So that was big studio deep dive to just dig in deep and then figure out how we can train designers that we would want to work with, and they're already ingrained in our process, know how business works.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was huge for us because, I mean, it truly gave us the passive income to also say no and do more brand identities and really change what I Love Creative Studio was. Like it what, yeah. So, and then 2022 came. So at this point, we were like, oh, this is a little, like a lot of people, the feedback was, it's very feminine. It's very girly.
Right. And we're like, oh, us as women. Interesting. Interesting. But at the same time, we didn't want to be like boxed into that because I also was like, I want to do more than that.
Yeah.
I know I can do so much more design-wise than being stuck in this like kind of niche. Hate to be put in a box.
Yeah.
Like, release us.
And release
Yes.
the beast. Yes. So, yeah. And so, I don't know, like we just decided we didn't want that anymore.
Yeah, I think the peak was obviously Paris Hilton. Because, like, hello, the girliest girl that you can get.
Yes.
Yeah.
It
but
was
we were
so
like,
girly.
okay, enough of that.
Yeah. We're done. We are done. We have more to ourselves than
We
this.
slipped.
Yes. But we also, I mean, a lot of these, I'm looking at this right now, and a lot of these brands came to us because of relationships, because that they knew that we had range and that they knew that we were fun. Like people just knew we were fun. So I was like, yeah, okay, keeping fun, but it doesn't have to be girly.
Yes.
Yes, I know. And actually at this time too, a lot of people were saying like, oh my God, they're so Gen Z. And I'm all like, I'm 40.
Yeah. What do you mean?
I am not Gen Z, but cool, whatever.
You look like you're Gen Z.
I know,
so-
I did. Vampire. So yeah. So
Asian don't
anyways,
raise 'em.
whatever. We'll take it. 2023 came.
Yes.
Fun year. Yeah.
Baby number 2 was on the way.
Oh
Arlo.
God. Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
I had a kid before that too. Yeah.
Yes,
So this is the
pretty.
second one. Second
Yes.
child.
Yeah. And so that was like us trying to figure out, okay, baby number 2 is on the way. How can we kind of like grow my biz dev skills because hello, we were forced to. She was going on, maternity leave. And so I was like, okay, scary for me, but I'll do it.
No, we literally went to like Soho Warehouse. We sat down and
we had
like
a workshop.
You had a notebook and you're like, so what do you do?
Yeah.
How do you win clients?
Yeah. How do you charisma?
Yeah. Yeah. It was actually a really helpful workshop. I feel like we both learned a lot.
Yeah. And then like project wise, obviously we were trying to pivot away, and I think we successfully did that. There's less pink and purple here, as you can see. And then really fun project that came through literally through our inquiry form was Cosmopolitan. And obviously, yes, that is femme, but like it was done in such a way that was like mature beauty and like doing an entire digital issue for them. So that was nuts.
Yes,
loved that one.
And at this point, we wanted to grow, but we were growing. We were like,
how do we like stay afloat?
How do we stay afloat? This is what was happening, and we needed to really refine our process as well. Like, we needed to figure out. Okay, I was like, I need case studies. I need decks. I need this. I need that. And then so we had to build all of those things. Otherwise, it was just, I feel like we've been talking about this a lot in this conference, but it was just, you're recreating things all the time.
Yeah.
And then you guys built a bunch of processes with Figma too.
Yeah, the workflow and also Notion of just like figuring out the timeline of everything.
Yes.
And better like capacity planning for us.
Absolutely. I want to do a whole talk on that because we literally were like, okay, here's a Notion timeline for all of these projects we've ever done. Here is the templates on templates. Yes. This was the year of templates. And then 2024.
Yeah. So bigger budgets. We wanted bigger budgets because we were doing a lot of creative direction and production, but then at the end of the day, because we were just like so passionate about it and wanted to grow our like body of work for that, we were like, this is great. This is some of our best work, but we're not making any money from this. Like the studio needs to we need to figure out profit margins for this so that way we can hire a project manager to do those Notion timelines and those processes that we came up with.
Right. So just that's another thing. Sometimes people think, oh, I Love Creative Studio. Looks like you guys are a huge agency. Remember in the beginning, we didn't want that. It's really just been Mindy and I for pretty much the whole time. We would hire a lot of designers. We would hire part-time project managers, but we never had a full-time project manager until 2024.
Yeah.
And I think also at this time, we were trying to figure out how do we sell like full 360 campaigns, and it's pretty easy. Like I'm saying it's pretty easy, meaning just sell it. Like if you have an idea,
shoot your shot.
And I was like, every time it's so far work that we need to really like be careful about us and what we're selling.
Like can we do it? Can we actually do that? But yeah, for example, Young Maven, they started out as a client that we just did website design for. And then fast forward to 2025 this year, where we literally were like, okay, so Earth Day is a thing. You guys as a sustainable hemp clothing brand, what if you guys did an Earth Day campaign? And so that launched the entire Get on Grass idea that we have over here, where we shot at this like incredible green spiral in LA. And that's literally the result of shooting your shot.
Yeah. Did so much good stuff. So here's what we learned. We learned for today, 2025, what success looked like for us is a 55% healthy margin. That's very hard to just say.
Right.
And
sometimes we falter.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't work out that way.
Absolutely.
But that's the goal.
Yeah, that's the goal. And then flexibility is huge.
Yes.
Like just even being able to be flexible enough to say, hey, this year, I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Next year, I don't want to do that more. I want to focus on this, or something happened in my family and I need to focus on that right now. And that flexibility has been huge.
Yes.
precise capacity planning has been huge for us.
That is like the key to the margin, because every time that we were like, logging hours in harvest, we were like, okay, we should actually look at the numbers and how that is like comparing to our project proposals, and literally build in that margin from the very beginning.
Yeah. So every project now has like capacity planning for the entire project. So now we know we don't want anyone to ever feel burnt out, basically. That was the point of that. When money wasn't the answer, we always thought like, oh, maybe it's a really expensive project manager, or maybe it's a salesperson. Maybe what we're not doing right is not hiring a consulting with a salesperson that gets us, or a business consultant. But every time that we like explored those, it just didn't feel right, and like we're doing something that we don't even know what we're doing. It was hard for us to find someone that understood that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Because also we are people that change our minds
all the time.
So,
finding the right crew.
Yeah. Trust, very key point. So making sure that like we are working with people that we trust, and someone that, doesn't complain even if things get hard, but they want to solve problems immediately, and like turn that frustration into action and be proactive about that.
Yeah.
I think that's always been key about the people that we work with.
I think the biggest thing that we care about and are so sacred about for us and anybody we work with, including our clients, is emotional drainage. Like, we do not want anyone to ever feel like they are emotionally drained because they work with us, whether you're a teammate or a client. That was like the most important thing for us. Budgeting and estimating. So,
Yeah. So high margins don't have to equal high stress. So for example, like with the Cosmopolitan project, like that was one of our biggest projects ever. And we were like, okay, shit, we gotta make this work. Like it's gonna be so stressful trying to make the margins work. But it ended up being totally fine. And then also, profit doesn't equal greed, it equals sustainability. We don't have to constantly be burning ourselves out. And profit actually means that, okay, we can like say no to some clients that we don't want, and also be able to, I don't know, take time off, because for the longest time I would be going on trips and then I'd be like off the ski slope. Let me respond to a Discord chat. So, and then accurate estimation is greater than blind optimism. I think for the longest time, I was always trying to fight myself and like be like, okay, we can make this work. 10K for like a crazy website design on Shopify.
And then I'd be like,
why not?
I would be like, no, ma'am. And I'd get out my spreadsheet and I'm like,
you're like, that's why this doesn't work. Hello.
So this was our decision-making framework for why do we grow. Like it's money, status in a sense, like how we want to be perceived, what kind of work can we get because of how we're perceived, the type of work that we want to work on. And these are the questions that we ask ourselves every year. We do an end of year audit and we ask ourselves these questions.
Yes, so feel free to take a little pick. But yeah, basically, what kind of work do we want to do? Is it more brand identities? Is it more like campaigns? What kind of work do we never want to do again? Because also the things that you do like is also just as important as the things that you don't like. How do we want to feel while working? That's easy. And then what role do we want to play this year? So for example, like even when Puno was like, okay, maybe you go into the biz dev, but then we tried that for a little bit and it was like, okay, yeah, this is cool, but it's also just like naturally what I'm not good at. And that's okay. I don't have to force myself to be good at it. And you're like, well, I love it. So why don't we just keep on doing that? So she took it over. And then what does growth mean to us right now? And then what problem are we trying to solve by growing? Is that sustainability? Is that more time? All of that. So this is our framework. And feel free, you guys, to like, try it out, use it, see how it works for you guys.
The big thing here is that we always just want to be flexible. We always know that we don't have to grow. But if we want to, like let's go. Let's do this.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was it.
That's it. Okay. Yes. So a little question time.
Question.
Okay, the way that we were exactly at 15 minutes.
Did you notice
We're
the
good,
numbers on the
yes.
bottom? Anybody?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you like saw that.
Yeah, you're like,
These
those aren't
numbers
page
make
numbers.
no
They're going
sense.
down.
All right.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. I'm back again for our last session.
Taylor.
Yeah. First of all, I think I can speak for everyone in this room. Thank you all so much. This has been incredibly insightful, especially to hear your journey and see how far you've come, especially where you got started and when Mindy joined the team. It's incredible to hear, and I appreciate your vulnerability. There we go. Okay, so I have some questions for you from the chat online. You had talked a little bit about transitioning and telling clients no and what that kind of looked like. But the question is, how did you set expectations for clients that were a little more demanding during that time that you couldn't necessarily say no to? That maybe was already a client or didn't necessarily fit the niche that you were looking for?
I always just lean on, and I tell this all the time to you and like to everyone. It's like, have the hard conversation as soon as possible.
Yes.
Because like, yo, I got 2 kids. I have no emotional energy to carry any other bullshit, honestly.
No, that's so true.
And I was just like, I don't want to think about this anymore. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Like, I have to make dinner. Like,
yes.
so I was just like, it's not going to help thinking about it tomorrow. We know what it is. It's just awkward. So let's just have that awkward conversation. Let's have that hard conversation. No, come into it with grace. We never come into any conversation with clients, even if we have to break up with them, with, you owe me this, or it's just always love and always like respect and
empathy.
And empathy.
I think empathy for like framing it as like, I don't think we're the right partner for you, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't have to like mean that like we're bad at designing or anything like that.
Yeah.
But like just for you guys to, connect with the goal that you want, it might be worth looking at someone else, and that's okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like honesty is the best policy here. But
Always.
Yes. It's quick honesty.
quick honesty, yeah, totally. Emily said, I love the unserious energy, but the still very business energy. Do you guys have particular methods or tools that help you stay consistent on short/long-term goals, especially as you've built your business and been through so many bumps along the way?
I feel like that end of the year thing, and we also do quarterly check-ins. Where we like look at that notion that we made a year ago and we're like, oh, that's what we wanted to do. I forgot about that. So we have that on the calendar every year. But I think it's also lately it's been the simplicity. Like it's just been, we need to do this, and then that's it. And we just focus on that instead of having 20 different ideas and tasks.
Yes. And then also I think you can tell we're just very unserious people, but we're serious about what we do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think we're always just trying to be like, okay, how can we make this fun? So
Yeah.
I think just keeping that alive
Yeah.
throughout everything that you do and integrating that.
Yeah, like I'm all Hakuna Matata, you know what I'm saying? But like I also,
It's design. It's not that serious.
but I'm also like trust like we will get things done too.
yeah. Yeah.
Work can be fun, you know?
It can be.
Oh, it should be.
Yeah.
That's why. Yeah.
Yeah, then you'll never work
That's
a
what we're
day.
here for, right? Like just to have a good time.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Last online question I have, and then I will turn it over to the room. What advice do you have for folks looking to find web design projects, gigs, or clients?
I find that for me, when I first started, it really helped, and I think other people have done this, like just going to networking events or just going to places and literally going like, hi, I'm Puno. I make a Squarespace website. Like that's what I did because I like knew nobody. I was from the gaming world, so I didn't know people at all. I didn't know any small business owners at all. And so that was huge for me. It was just meeting people and doing that. And then on top of that, meeting, I call them growth angels. It's like, why does this person just happen to know everybody? And like basically just figure out like, what is it? Like, what is it about them? Why do they know so many people? And we would do audits on how many referrals we would get. And it would always, every year, there was always one little growth angel for us that just referred like 5 clients or whatever. And they were just that. And I always feel it's just that one person who just knows everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, literally, I was going to say exactly that because that is what you told me when I first started.
Yeah.
And then I think also just coming at it from a mindset of like, if you go to a networking event, like, think about like, how can I help this person? Is there anything that I can do? And I think that was something that like we used to have a thing called Creative Friend Machine, and that would be one of the questions that we would have someone like internally ask every time that they met someone new.
Yes, because I feel like if you are known as a helpful person, people will come to you with their problems. And I'm like, that's like my joy is to like help someone Google something that I know like is so easy for them to Google, but it's like, here, let me help you figure this out. Not a problem.
Right.
Yeah. So I always like leaned on that too. Yeah. You're very helpful.
It's not necessarily what you know, it's who you know and the connections you make along the way. I will go ahead and take in-person questions. Anyone around?
Like, oh.
I know we got some questions. All right, here we go.
This is I guess like about a client retention. Do you do things like gifting or anything to kind of keep your clients going? Because you have like really great clients. I'd imagine you want to keep them.
So we really just integrate ourselves into their business. I mean, I think one of the big things is any kind of like social content, email marketing, anything that is on a retainer, like that's typically the retainers that we get, or campaign-based kinds of things. But yeah, it really, I mean, for us, it's about pitching those things. And right now, like we avoided social. Like I was like, look, I don't know if I want to do that. And we finally figured out how to do social and paid ads in a way that's sustainable for us and doesn't break us emotionally. So I feel like it's kind of us like relooking at our deal breakers and really understanding like, why is it a deal breaker? How can we change our processes? How can we still serve them? I truly think the reason why we didn't retain clients is because we just didn't think we'd want to do that kind of work. Yeah.
And then I think also like at the core of everything, I Love Creatives is such like an educational brand.
Yeah.
And that's something that like makes us different of like, how can we further continue to educate like from a brand perspective and like connect with that audience more. And obviously there's so many different ways to do that.
I forgot. That's so true. Literally like the past 2 years, our biggest clients have come to us because they're like, so you know how to edutain? And we've just leaned on the fact that we have these courses and that we love to teach. And I think that, I mean, it's so crazy. Like that is truly how we've won all of our clients this year. Like all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally that Morphe project that we just did, we literally created an educational program for them.
Yes. I was like, oh yeah, we know how to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was wild. I forgot about that.
That's awesome. Education's amazing.
Yeah.
What it does.
Learning.
Next question right here.
Always be learning.
So I imagine everyone in this room just loves your quirkiness and your just the way you guys are leaning so much into your own personality. And so I'm just curious, as creatives and more so as a business, how do you continue to lean into that creative side of yourself? And honestly, the part that just doesn't really fit in business world, how do you capture your personality and continue to, maintain your professionalism, but still have your awesome brand?
Have you seen our paid ads? I just cannot take myself seriously. I feel like, I don't know. I'm going to just go back to when I got married because I feel like this is a very good story. But I was getting married, and this lady was like also getting married at the courthouse, and she was like, "Hey, can you take her picture?" And I said, "Sure." And I was taking their picture, and then they took their picture, and then I said, "Okay, let's do a goofy one." And like as I'm looking through the camera, she just looked at us and said, "We don't do goofy." And her husband was just like, like, "Oh my,
Who did I marry?
Who did I marry? I just, we don't do goofy." Core,
Like, I'm learning new things every day.
core value. And I honestly, at that point, I was like, "Oh, that's a choice. That is a life decision that I'm going to love and own and like appreciate." So we do goofy. No apologies.
We are a goofy
Whatever.
movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Could you? He's like, like, and I'm like, I still took the picture.
They're going to talk about that later in couples therapy.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. She's like, "We don't do therapy." Yeah. So I hope that answered your question. Yeah. Just do it.
Yeah, and then also you've seen like how we presented the deck, and just like we're always writing as though we're talking to people.
Yeah.
And how it like always comes from our voice. I think we tried the whole like let's be professional thing and like look like we have our shit together, but it just like never came off.
But then they
genuine
won't
for
think
us.
we're Gen Z. I want to be Gen. You know? Oh, can we also tell the story about you and about how
Which one?
you're shy?
Oh my God, yeah. Okay, so this is crazy. So literally, the fact that I'm up here, 7th grade Mindy would not believe this. Like I literally would ask my friend if we were at a restaurant to order for me because I didn't want to talk to the waiter. Even though they were like literally right there, I'm like, "Can I have the chicken parmesan?" So yeah, it was like painful. But here I am.
Yeah.
Growth.
Yeah.
Over time. Yeah.
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 Also, I love an introvert.
Yes.
Y'all are real good listeners.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah.
I feel like you.
I
had
think there was.
one.
I thought there was a question from this side of the
I
room.
had one right
Yes.
here. Oh,
I've seen you. Yes.
I thought you went
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Nancy. My question is,
Nancy.
have you ever had like what you consider to be a massive project or client fail, like you couldn't deliver it, or you know, it just went off the rails or something like that? Can you just share a little bit about that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, that literally just happened. Actually, we had to have a breakup call.
Yes.
And we talked about this a little bit before, but it was just there were things that just like weren't meshing well. We would always like try to get on calls with them, and it just felt like it was emotionally draining for both of us, like both sides. I'm saying, like client and us, and we were just like not on the same page. And we were like, okay, I think this is one of those times where we just got to initiate the breakup, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think we're very thankful and lucky that that hadn't happened to us yet.
Right.
But I think it was about us framing it of like, I just don't think we're the right people for you. And that's okay. And we actually want you to be successful. So I think the most respectful thing is to just bow out of this project and hope that you find a better creative partner.
And we rarely do this because we work our ass off to be optimistic and like try to figure out how can we figure this out, because sometimes it's not a design problem. Sometimes it's a feedback problem. Sometimes it's you guys are not listening to us. Let's now create a playbook of your feedback so that you now understand that. Or maybe it's more about how we're communicating and you really just need us to be on a call with you and like discuss this. So I feel like it's really tough for us because we try our damnedest to figure it out, and it really isn't until we're kind of broken a little bit.
Yeah.
Like we go that far, and I think it's worth it before we say, okay, this is it. It's been very rare that we've had to do that.
Yeah.
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 But it happens.
For the best,
Yeah.
you know, for both sides, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens to the best of us, unfortunately. Client breakups happen.
Yeah.
Okay, last question, and then we'll wrap it up.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you so much, ladies, for being here. So my
thank
question is more on the
you.
technical side of time management, especially when the studio was first growing.
Yes.
Did you have like any holy grail habits that either or both of you were really sticking to? And I do have the I Love Creatives planner, so I know it's the evergreen planner. So is that also like kind of how you keep track of your projects and like time management even to this day, since it's like pretty free flowing and open-ended?
Oh my gosh, this is such a big conversation. But I would say for now, what we do is we track our time for everything. And we try to categorize it as much as possible. And then we make spreadsheets that basically try to calculate out what, like if we were going to do a brand identity and a website, like we would look at our historical data on like how long it would take, and then we would plug in those numbers, and then we throw that into Notion. This sounds really complicated, but then we throw that into Notion, and that gives us estimated hours. And then from that's when we do capacity planning every day and week and make sure that people have at least 6 to 8 hours max, or whatever they're like. Sometimes we work with part-time designers, and then we plan that. It is like so planned now. Yeah.
Yes, right. And I'm definitely someone that is like very loose. Sometimes I was like, okay, anytime that I was doing internal review, like sometimes I wouldn't log my hours in Harvest.
Yeah.
And then Puno was like, no, we got to do that because like time is money.
Right.
And that's also like your effort, your mental and emotional effort.
And I'm selling this, so
Yeah.
like I need to know, as the person who's doing business development, like, am I selling something that's profitable, or am I just selling something that's going to burn her out and then like not cool, Puno? So it was very important for me that I was saving her. So I was just
Thank
like,
you.
track your time.
Thank you. Yeah. Me being my own worst enemy and not tracking time.
Please. Well, the AI should be doing that at some point. I don't know. I mean, come on,
That's
solve
the thing
that.
we want them to
I know,
do, not
solve
the
that.
creative.
I know.
Yeah.
Track our time.
Yes.
Solve that problem. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Wow,
Thank you so much. So